Hello, my name is Connie Durham and I'm with Connie's Clever Concepts. I'm going to share with you a concept today on building a strong team culture and when you build a strong team culture, what that does for your customer satisfaction in your business. We all lead busy lives, and when we do that, we often forget to stop, think, reassess the most important actions in our lives. What's the most important things in our lives? So I'm going to share with you a story, and it's called Story of the Important Things in Our Lives. I want you to picture a large glass pickle jar. A large glass pickle jar. You don't see them too much, but they used to have them all the time. Now I've got some 2-inch rocks, and we are going to pour those rocks into the pickle jar. And, very carefully as not to crack the jar, right? We're going to pour them all the way to the top. And that pickle jar, it looks like it's full. Now I've got some pebbles over here, and I'm going to see what happens if I pour these pebbles, they're a little smaller, into that jar that's full of rocks already. Whenever I take the jar and I move it around, shake it a little bit, all those pebbles start to fall down to the bottom of the jar. And there was more room than I expected. But I've got some sand over here. Let's see if that'll go in. So I take the sand and I pour it inside the pickle jar, pick it up, move it around until all the sand goes down to the bottom of that jar. Now that jar truly looks like it's full. That's a full pickle jar. But I have a pitcher of water over here. And I'm going to take that water and I'm going to see how much of that'll go in. So I pour the pitcher of water down into this jar that's already full of rocks, pebbles, and sand. And guess what? That water goes in. Because that jar appeared to be full, but it still had more room. Now we're going to take this story and we're going to talk about our lives. Those rocks stand for the most important things in your lives. The most important things like people, your family, your friends, those you love, your passions, what's most important in your life. And then the pebbles stand for the next things like your house, your car, things that are important in life, but they're the next important things. And then that sand, that's all the little stuff that goes into our lives that sometimes we're really not paying attention to. It just kind of pours in. It goes in between the important things, in between the next important things, in between the pebbles. And all of a sudden it's filled up the jar. And then when something happens and that water goes in and there's one more thing that goes in, we are over full. We're over full. And a lot of times when we get too full, too much going on, we just stop in our tracks and we don't do nothing. What does a confused mind do? Nothing. So it's important to pay attention to your most important things, those 2-inch rocks that went into the jar. That's what you need to pay attention to. What is the most important thing in your life? The most important things in your life. You have to stop and take time to think so that you can have a great anchor in your life and lead the life of passion that you want to. All right, so I'm going to go into, what we, sometimes the small things take over, right? Okay, so we're going to look into the challenges in the workplace and how they spill into our bottom line. Often, we have places of business that have empowered workers. I like to talk about Chick-fil-A because, their people always look happy. They are happy. They are trained. They do DISC. That is the personality styles with their people. They've done them for a long time. So they know how to place people in the correct places. So when we empower our workers, happy workers, educated workers, then are happy, that goes over to the clients. And that just overflows into your clients, and that is going to make a difference in your business. So we're going to talk about 3 things today. Number 1, why you need a strong team culture. This is what we're talking about. Number 2, what helps create a strong team culture. And number 3, how it affects your clients and what does that mean for you. So the problems we see in the workplace are people comparing themselves. Now this doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur, and this is inside the workplace and outside the workplace, but people compare themselves, and the truth is that all people are different. We all have different talents. and we're good at different things. And when we're put in the right place, then we work well in that area. Don't compare yourself. It doesn't do you any good. We're all different. What if we were all the same? What good would that be? Be pretty boring, don't you think? The next thing is, the boss looking over the shoulder of the employee. Have you ever had that before? I remember whenever many years ago, I had a restaurant boss that looked over my shoulder, and it made me uncomfortable. It kind of froze me in my tracks. I wasn't really able to concentrate or focus. I felt like he was judging me. And then I remember having a manager that whenever he said, hey, we got a rush going here, we got to get busy, he didn't tell us what to do. He didn't just tell us what to do. He didn't look over our shoulder. He joined in. And this is what we're looking for with good leadership, right? A good manager. But looking over somebody's shoulder doesn't help anything and doesn't help them build confidence. Too much control in an office and lack of confidence in your employees. Too much control in the office, and it shows a lack of confidence in your employees. And if you're controlling everything, people with ideas, or if they want to help, or like everybody just kind of gets quiet and lets you do your thing because maybe your opinion is the only one that matters, right? So offices too often and places of business, maybe there's too much control and the people don't have the freedom to engage their own thoughts and their own ideas and actions. Office disorganization. I knew someone who had said they left a place of business, working there for another place, and one of the biggest things was the disorganization. Maybe there were too many different technical things that needed to be combined together to make it more streamlined, and they were frustrated. So office disorganization. Problems in the office are lack of passion and vision. Well, all the above things that we talked about make a difference in the passion and the vision, because when you have freedom in your office, or empowerment, or you are encouraged to give ideas, or you're a part of the team, then you feel like your ideas count. And this leads to passion and vision in the office. Another problem in the office is no place to grow or advance. People need to know that if they do a great job, they can earn higher wages, or they can advance into another spot, or at the least they get appreciation for what they're doing. Another thing, and the last thing I'm going to share on this, is the interpersonal conflict. Too many times, people personalities conflict in the office, and it causes strife. It causes a heavy tension, and nobody can be happy when there's a lot of tension in the office. So expanded productivity comes on purpose. It comes from growth and training. And today what I'm talking about are people. Why you need a strong team culture. So we're going to look at that. Why you need a strong team culture. First of all, it increases your productivity. When people are trained, they're growing, they're happy, they feel like a part of the team, then your productivity is increased. And that starts with building strong leadership. It starts at the top. If you ever notice, if you have a strong leader, the office or that business runs wonderfully because they lead and then they let others lead in their position. One person cannot do it all. So you build strong leadership from the top going down. And this builds confidence in your workers and their skills. If they have confidence, they're going to produce better because they feel good about what they're doing. Remember, they also need to be put in the right place. A people person needs to be doing client service, and a detail person needs to handle the details. Empower ideas and collaborate. I love it when I am in a group of people who everybody talks about their ideas, and then there's a great collaboration where all the ideas, maybe the idea changed during the process into a better idea. And this is empowering. It ups your productivity. And then also on the last one, teams that each do their specific part. Well, there's one more. Teams that do their specific part, it builds trust. So if I know you trust me, I feel like you respect me, and I'm going to respect you back, right? Naturally, happy people, all of these things put in place, happy team, in your office means happy clients. Because if your people are happy, then they're going to be good to your clients, and and your clients are going to know that difference. Number 2, what helps create a strong team culture? DISC and motivators is something that I teach, and so I'm going to share with you this today, and this is the meat of this talk, and hopefully it helps you somewhere. So what helps create a strong team culture? Understanding the way people communicate, because we all communicate different. Some people are quiet and you just think they're not being sociable, but they're just quiet and they don't have a lot to say. They're great listeners. And some people are very talkative and they share all their ideas. So it's like bringing all these people together and letting them know where they fit on the team. And then another thing is motivators. Different things motivate different people. And at the same time, different things shut people down. So if you do things right, your people are going to be motivated to produce, and this then gives you a better profitability, right? So your people will be motivated when you understand them and you understand what motivates them. So first we're going to look at the behaviors. And I'm going to give just a little bit on this, but I teach the behaviors, and we're going to use a D, I, S, and C, and each one is going to represent a people style, okay? And there's just a little bit on this. I'm going to give you a few things that that the people have. It's their greatest talent, and I'm going to give you things that irritate them. So that's what I have time for today. First of all, the D style person. Their greatest talents are leadership, productivity, and quick decisions. And so you want these people who have this style to be in a position where they can lead, because they're natural leaders, where they can lead in an area they have knowledge, of course, right? So they are it's leadership, productivity, and they have quick decisions. And that means when something happens and you need a quick decision, they're going to think and they're going to make that decision. They're motivated by the challenge, so they can handle a lot of different things at once because they are motivated by the challenge. Some of us shut down when there's too much challenge. These people love the challenge. They thrive. But they are irritated by being controlled and lack of productivity. So being controlled by other people, and when other people are not producing and they're not focused on what they're doing, they're irritated because they have a high standard for themselves and they have a high standard for others. Now, the I personality, their greatest talents are they are outgoing, they are people-oriented, and they're optimistic. So they always look at the bright side. And since they are people-oriented and they love to be around people, these are the people you want taking care of your clients. They're friendly, they're nice, they're going to be good to your clients. Your client feels welcomed by them. They're motivated by passion, purpose, and people. Motivated by passion, purpose, and people. And so when you get the high I on your team and you're making them feel confident and good about themselves, and they know that their work is meeting the standards it needs to, and you're happy with them, and there's a passion in the office, there's a purpose. What's everybody working towards? This is leadership, passing it down. Passion and purpose make a big difference for the I. They are irritated by being talked down to. You ever have a boss that instead of talking to you as an equal, like you're working together, they talk down to you like you are below them? Well, the high I is irritated by that. And also, they're irritated by unfriendly people who are impersonal. And sometimes that's the person who's just being quiet and not smiling, but they don't appear to be friendly, so the high I is irritated by that. The S personality, their greatest talents are they are a diplomat. They are loyal and they are efficient. They are steady, even workers. They don't get too excited. They are not emotional, up and down. They are very loyal people. All employers love S's. These are also good people with your clients and dealing with people. They're diplomatic, so they help keep peace on a team. They help to bring peace on a team. Sometimes that's important. They are motivated by appreciation. And since they do so much for people without asking anything in return, they do like appreciation. So it's as simple as that. You don't have to give them a gold star or a gold watch. It's like appreciation makes a big difference for them. They are irritated by being pushed. So if you really try to push them to go too fast, or you push them on something, or they don't know what all is expected of them, they're irritated. They also are irritated by someone who is aloof and not friendly. The seesaw person is the greatest, their greatest talents are they are analytical, creative, and they are task oriented. Now, this is important. We need those people who are detail oriented, task oriented. They are organized. They're going to keep everybody on the task. They are motivated by accuracy because they like to do things correct, and they research things and make sure they do them correct. They don't hand in half done work. It's always done correctly. They're irritated by somebody judging their work. So this is the person that, they're looking over their shoulder, judging what they're doing, trying to change it or whatever, and they put a lot of work into it. They're irritated by that. And they're irritated by people who have lack of focus, who are not staying on the task. Now I'm going to move to motivators. So that was just a little bit about DISC and behavior styles in a nutshell. Now this is motivators. So it's separate. It's another science, and it is about people and what motivates them. Have you ever thought about what motivates you and what makes you want to move forward? So I have 6 of these. Number 1, energizing continuous learning. This is a people group who love to learn. They read all the time. They go to seminars. They like to educate. Learning gives them energy, and they enjoy the process of learning. Number 2, opportunity to enhance appearance of surroundings or work materials. This is a style of people who are motivated by the beauty of their surroundings. The beauty of their surroundings, things matching up, looking great. They can be very good on web pages, creating web pages or creating things because they are motivated by the beauty of things that surround them. Number 3, the ability to make the best use of time, materials, and money. This style of person is motivated by good use of things. They don't like to throw things away. They don't like to waste time with people. Like if you go into a meeting and there's chit chat, they want to get right to the point because they're there for the meeting and they want to make good use of that time. And they're not going to waste money. So they're a great person. If they're motivated by this, they might be the person who's your treasurer and takes care of the money in your business because they want to make sure there's no waste. Number 4, opportunity to give aid or assist other people who need their help. So this is a person who's motivated by helping others. Isn't that great? Motivated by helping others. They will do things for charities. They'll do extra things for people in the office, and they're motivated, and it gives them that good feeling to do for other people. Number 5, a place to set up, excel, and lead. All right, this is that individualistic kind of person who likes to lead. They like to take the lead. They like the challenge, and they will work hard. It's important to them to be somebody. And then number 6, the carrying out of systems, values, and principles. A lot of times this is also religion, and it's the principles, the traditional things in life, and having a way that you do that. So it's a carrying out of systems, and that's the 6th thing on the motivators. All right, so we're going to go to number 3, and this is how it affects your clients and what does it mean to you to have a happy team. How does it affect your clients when you have a happy team of people who are working in the right positions and empowered by their leadership? It overflows to your clients. When your team is happy, motivated, and encouraged, it goes over to your clients. And when you have an office that is not, it goes over to your clients. We live in a world these days where people want to look like other people. They want to dress like other people. They want to have what everybody else has. They want to fit into a certain group. But really, when we get down to it, kind of like those rocks in the jar, the most important things are that we can be ourselves. Because when we have to be in a position to act like we're supposed to act, then, it's hard to adapt for long periods of time each and every day. So we really just like to be ourselves. But sometimes we like to appear a certain way to other people. So these things do make a difference on people's contentment, that your team is committed and content, and this makes a difference on their passion and their productivity. So finding your people's strengths at your business will help you motivate them. So we're going to look at the positive on this. It'll help them to adapt to the other people's styles. So we may be one style of person and we behave a certain way, but we can adapt a little bit, so we get along better with somebody else in the office. Maximize your team working in their strong places. These things help find the right place for your people in your office to work. This is going to improve productivity and your bottom line. Resolve interpersonal conflicts. These things help with this. And so you don't have conflicts and tension and people upset in your office. People will understand nonverbal communication once they study these things. There's one of the personalities who's really loyal and easygoing, but they'll tell you okay or yes, even if they weren't okay and the answer wasn't yes, because I don't want to cause any conflict. So understanding that those people do that helps you to read them a little bit better. Effectively learn to motivate one another. What motivates me may not motivate you, right? So learning to effectively motivate one another on your team. Grow a positive self-image and build confidence. Every single person needs this in their life, right? Empower ideas and collaboration. And collaboration is my word this year. I love collaboration. Intelligent, smart, giving people coming together and sharing ideas, building a better idea than they started with. So often we share in our offices and we train on technology. Yeah, you got to have it. Skills, got to have it. And building leadership, possibly we do that. But people skills are the most important. The bigger your team, the more people you deal with, the more important they are. And I'm going to read this to you as I finish today, and it's by Dan Green. He said, and this kind of goes with the times right now of where we're getting ready to do some sharing online, and we're using Zoom a lot, right? During the coronavirus stay at home time, all right? Regardless of what came before or what has yet to come, what matters most right now is how I choose to respond to the challenge before me. Will I lie down or will I fight? The choice is mine, and I choose to finish strong. And I challenge you to finish strong through these challenging times and finding a way around and finding other ways to do things. Thank you. My name is Connie Duran with Connie's Clever Concepts, and thank you for listening today.